Hello there. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you see this or when I'm posting this. I thought I'd make a quick video to share with you all where I'm at now. The last video I was in Miami, and now I'm in, well, if you can see that, there we go. I'm near Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle's Beach. I'm in Murrells Inlet, near Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. There's my keyboard. Got my coffee, got my computer. I love this. This is sort of a little, seems not like a big deal, but it's a desk, and it's a music desk or a music stand rather, without the neck, which is great because then I can just set it right there, put my iPad on it or my music or whatever, and then I'm blessed or grateful, all the things for this house that I'm staying at. One of the school's professors, family donors, benefactors, I believe, allowed me to stay at this house. You can probably hear the wind, but this is the view I'm at. I know it's terrible. Someone has to do it, right? So it's beautiful. The water's receded. Every day the water comes in and out, like you would expect. But I am here at this house. The house was a bonus. I was offered the position a guest artist in residence at Coastal Carolina University, which is about a half-hour drive in Conway, South Carolina, which is inland, about a half hour, and the house came as a bonus, like I said, because I borrowed my parents' car, drove down to Miami, worked on Mamma Mia with Royal Caribbean. That gig ended February 3rd, February 4th, and I drove, I guess that was Saturday the 4th. I drove 10 hours to this area, got here late Saturday night, and then started rehearsing Merrily We Roll Along, a Sondheim musical, and George Firth musical, that Sunday, the 5th. But the reason I was thinking about making this video was, in part, to show you the house. I don't know if you can see this, but out in the water right now, you see that maybe? You can see there was some, got pelicans and some other birds. A colleague of mine called me last night asking for advice, which I admit felt nice to be asked. Don't we like to be asked our opinion? But he wanted to know about a upcoming tour and scheduling, and should he take the tour, should he not take the tour, what if he took the tour and a better gig came along, what if the tour came and something else got in the way. And I think that has happened a lot, and I wanted to speak to this idea that, you know, for all of us in theater and in performing arts and any kind of freelance work, if you're a independent contractor, which is the title I get, as well as freelancer, I like independent contractor a little bit better because it takes the word free out of the title, because there's nothing free when you're trying to make a living. And certainly after all the work and the money we spend to train and piano lessons and piano tunings and all of that, So independent contractor is maybe a more appropriate title, but he was asking me about should he take the tour, should he not take the tour, and it reminded me of many instances in my life where I've had that same dilemma. The dilemma being, do I want this gig? What are the pros and cons? And after you decide everything between the money and the travel and the location and the gig, I simply asked him, do you want to do it? Do you want to play this show? It was a tour of the musical Chicago, and I said, do you enjoy the show? Do you want to play it? And he did. That seemed evident from our conversation. Very excited to do that. And so I think often, as is the case with the gig I'm at now, the minute you say yes to a gig, all other things may be unavailable. For instance, I'm here in South Carolina for a few months, teaching a chunk of a semester and music directing this wonderful Sondheim musical, which I'd love to talk more about. As soon as I took this gig, you know, there are other things in New York that come up, there are other opportunities, and I think all of us have the fear of being unavailable. think it's very easy to hedge our bets or hedge, not quite commit because we're afraid, well, what if something better comes along? And I think that is constant for a lot of us. I think for me, as I've learned over the years, some of that does become easier to accept. No, this is what I'm doing now. This is the gig I'm doing this. And if you can say that with a certain amount of authenticity, ownership, and pride, then it doesn't become a FOMO, a fear of missing out, right? You're not afraid of the gigs you're not taking because you've chosen the gig you've chosen. Another illustration I thought of was that there's that fork in the road, and the sign that you're on says the path you've chosen, and the other path says no longer an option. There has to come a certain point of being able to step in both feet into the water, into the boat, whatever, step both feet into it and say, I'm going to do this. I don't know for everyone out there if that is something. I think we all have to make those decisions. I think for myself, every gig is anything from 1 night to 6 weeks to 3 months to the Fun Home National Tour was 14 months. Those, especially tours, will take you out of the city, will take you out of the mix. But on the flip side, if the tour or the job is connected to upper management, to producers, to other people, people know what you're doing. There's social media, there's this. People know what you're doing. We all fear, I think we all fear that we become insignificant, anonymous, unknown, no one knows who we are. That reminds me of there's that old joke. Well, to me it's a joke when people get upset. Do you know who I am? And I often say, do you know who I was? Do you know who I'm not anymore? Because I think there's always that riding thing of not being hot, not being in the mix. So my colleague did confirm today that he took the gig, and I'm very excited for him. And I think it all sounds like a good fit. And if anything, the pros and cons, the con of it not being necessarily all the things all at once, all the best things in the world. I think that's everything. I think no matter what we do, we always have an attitude of the grass can be greener, right? I mean, what do you think? Do you have that ever? So here I am. Really, truly, there's a little, so everything up here, by the way, you can see, I love that little, that's not the chair. The chair's over there by the hammock. Everything over here is up a level because of flooding, I'm assuming. But I'm up high and I'm enjoying this house. I've been here now for just finishing our 2nd week of rehearsals. And if you know Sondheim, you know it's dense, it's complex, but it is thought out. And I'll speak more to that at some point because I get very excited about the complexity, but also the clarity. It's not, once you understand what it is, it's not complexity for the sake of complexity. And I think a lot of people assume if it's complex, that it's just complex for its own sake of being complex. It's not. It's really well thought out. Anyway, this is where I'm at, and now I finally am able to make another video to check in with you all. The last 2 weeks have been a little crazy as I get my feet on the ground, get groceries, get life, get rehearsals, get music going, working with a new cast of students, and they're fantastic. I'm so excited to be working with everyone here. And I don't know, what do you think? Do you ever have these moments of should I or shouldn't I? I think life is full of that, and this musical is exactly about all these moments in life that we have to make these choices. So, but as I said to my friend, it's not a long tour he's going to be on. It's 5 months. So I said it was a short video. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll check in soon. Bye.